Hey, how you doing? I'm Tracyfance and I'm a psychic coach. Now, one of my roles is to translate what your body is trying to tell you. And our bodies talk to us all the time. We just don't listen most of the time, okay? So I wanted to talk to you about forgiveness, and I wanted to talk to you about the flip side of that, which is anger and resentment and frustration, okay? So when your body wants to talk to you about anger and resentment and frustration and all the other emotions that go with things that have happened to us, what your body really needs is for you to forgive. Now, I know in religions we're always talking about, forgiving others and letting go, and we always talk about, forgive and forget and stuff like that. Now, this doesn't justify other people's behaviours, okay? So if you're feeling angry or you have resentment from things that have been done to you by the people, whether that's bullying, abuse, or just being treated disrespectfully, that doesn't mean that, you're giving them carte blanche to get away with it and carry on being that way and to behave in a way that's not nice. It's really about you being able to heal and move on, because when we don't forgive people, including ourselves, we may as well just literally be pouring poison in a cup of coffee and drinking it. And then you expect them to curl up and die, and weirdly, they don't, but you do, all right? So think about the things that have happened to you, the injustices in the world, however slight. But if you're talking about them 5 years after they've happened, then you still are carrying that with you. Because if you've truly let go of it, you don't think about it, all right? Now, one of the things that I do with my clients is I get them to write letters of forgiveness to those people. They don't have to send them. You can just write them out and then shred them. But by getting it out of your system, you're actually bringing healing, all right? Now, if we hang on to that, anger and resentment and frustration is linked to the solar plexus chakra, which is just above the belly button. And when a chakra is out of balance, it affects the ones either side. So this is going to affect the heart chakra and the one below the belly button, which is the navel. Now, what happens when we hold on to those emotions is that they affect the organs in that area. So the liver, the bile ducts in the gallbladder, the digestive system. It can create things like IBS because we're internalizing the emotions, all right? It can affect the other organs like the spleen and the pancreas, which obviously is going to lead to issues in those organs. And so if you look at people like Swayze, who were incredibly angry about the fact that they got pancreatic cancer, that anger would have fueled that illness, that disease, because it thrives on that anger, all right? And that would tell me that somewhere in his past there is unresolved anger and resentment and frustration. So it's really important that we learn to forgive. And there's a really great book, I love my books, called Your Body Keeps the Score. And it really does. So let's imagine that your brother's awful to you all your life. That's like bang, you're carrying it in your left shoulder, because the energy will go into the body, into the joints. Let's say that your teachers picked on you and they were unfair in the way they picked on you. Maybe you're not brilliant at maths and they always made you look stupid even though you're not. You just weren't brilliant at maths. Or maybe your English teacher liked to take the mickey when you were reading, and that made you really resentful of the fact that every time you got up to speak, she made you feel about this big. And that's like bang, straight to the solar plexus, okay? Or maybe it's that your boss takes your ideas and makes them look like theirs when they're not. And you don't mind because you're happy to contribute the ideas, but you'd like to have some of the kudos and you're not getting it, but the boss is getting all the credit for these amazing ideas. So that anger, that resentment, bang, goes straight into the body and sits somewhere, okay? So when we work to forgive these people that have hurt us, because people don't intentionally hurt people, they've always got a positive reason why they're doing what they're doing. We just don't know what that is. And once we know what their positive intent is, it still doesn't make it better, but it helps us to understand it. And so, you know, like the drug dealer, they really don't come across as someone who's got positive intent, but they do, because their positive intent is to reach nirvana, and so they need to go and get drugs to do it, and to do that they've got to break into your house and steal your money or your jewelry or whatever it might be. So their intent is pure. They haven't thought about the fact how it's going to hurt you or impact you, or the fact that it's your grandmother's wedding ring that they've stolen and that's really important to you. So that anger will fester in you. They're oblivious, okay? So it's super important that you understand holding on to the behaviors of other people doesn't benefit you, all right? You can still not like that experience. You can still be hurt that someone burgled your house, but you're not holding on to the anger. And ideally, you need to get rid of the hurt as well, all right? It's happened, it's done, it's not nice, but maybe it's brought something better to you. Maybe it's taught you to wear stuff, to value stuff. Maybe if your boss sacked you, it gave you the opportunity to go and start your own business, okay? So find the things to be grateful for. Find the reasons to be happy with where you're at in your life, because everything does bring us a lesson. Everything teaches us something, all right? And so because I read a lot of books on self-development and healing and stuff like that, I see so many people that have gone on to write books about their health journey. Take, for instance, Kate Garraway's husband, Derek. You know, she's written books on it, articles on it. She's been in TV programs, all talking about his journey. And I'm sure she'd much rather have not done that. However, it has brought positive things to them, because it's helped them financially when, you know, they would be in a financial hole if that wasn't the case. And I know we could say, well, you know, if he hadn't got ill, he wouldn't need to do all of that because he'd have a salary coming in. But it's about finding the positives, okay? So what I want you to do is maybe jot down some things that have upset you, some people that have hurt you, some situations or events that have really wounded you, and then journal about it and just let out the toxicity and allow that healing to take place, all right? And so you don't need to hold on to that. Your body doesn't need it, all right? And sometimes, in fact, actually what happens is we've misunderstood a situation. Someone said something and we've gone, oh, that's a bit nasty. And they didn't mean it like that. They just weren't aware of how it sounded or how it came across. And if you actually pulled them on it and went, well, that wasn't very nice, they'd probably say to you, I didn't mean it like that. Oh my God, I'm really sorry you took it that way, okay? So it's really important to go back over those things that you're still carrying and neutralize them. Let out the pain, lance that boil, and allow healing to follow. If you need help with that process, that's my job. Get in contact and we'll work together, all right? So good luck, and I look forward to being back with you soon and helping you in whatever way I can. Thanks.